Letter writing sucks. It doesn't work. At least that's what the people tell you. And you know what? They're right. They're right because your letters are generic. They're boring. They don't evoke emotion. They don't keep them engaged. But what if yours didn't? What if there was a way to get your client to stop, to feel something, keep your client engaged, and get results? And that's what this training is about. Hi, I'm Vic with Lions Gate Realty, and I'm here to help you level up your real estate game. Whether you're a new agent, looking for inspo, or just getting started, I'm giving you the tools, strategy, and confidence to stand out. And we're going to start with marketing. Let's get into it. In real estate marketing, attention is currency, and a letter is no different. You have to include the same marketing principles. In a letter, I'm going to break it down in 4 easy steps to achieve that goal. Number 1, the hook. Your first sentence must speak to a pain point. And you may be wondering, what is a pain point? It could be anything. It could be maintenance. It could be the HOA harassing you about the trailer that you have in your driveway. It could be your neighbor, noise, a lot of different things. The idea is that a pain point is something that is bothering you so much that you're willing to uproot your family and take them to another part of town. And that's what we want to talk about. With a pain point, you're not talking about real estate. You're talking about their life, something that's bothering them, something that upsets them every single day. Speak to an emotion. Speak to a daily frustration. You want to be bold. You want to be short. You want to be human. They have to know that you live there, that you understand their problems. And we have to communicate that within your first 3 sentences. What you don't want to do is open with your name and your company. That comes later. So remember, in order to write an effective hook, you have to speak to their pain point, you have to be authentic, and you don't talk about yourself. Number 2, the problem. Once you've gotten their attention, name the problem that they're dealing with. Let me give you an example. I live in an area that's changing year by year. New clients are coming in, new stores are coming in. The area is drastically changing. Great place to raise a family. I've lived here for over 20 years. We're in close proximity to an area that's not that great. That area is bleeding into our side, and it's changing. I see the change in the neighborhood. I see the change in the grocery stores. I see the change all around. My neighbors complain. My neighbors are scared. My neighbors are frustrated. There's a lot of things changing. People hate change. And that is a problem in my community. I sympathize with them. I mirror their problem. I let them know that I understand. Not only do I understand, I am also experiencing it as well. So with that real life example, how can we put that into a letter? Those feelings, that emotion. How do we capture it? And that brings us to my next point. Number 3, the solution. Now, something I haven't told you guys is that a letter is not meant to be long. You want to keep a letter between 5 to 7 sentences. If you can keep it shorter, even better. Now that you've gained their trust, you've identified a problem, you need to offer a clear solution. What is life like on the other side of the move? Once this weight is lifted off their shoulders, what does that look like to them? This isn't where you say, hire me. This isn't where you brand your company. This is where you talk about a better lifestyle, what life could be like. This is the breath of fresh air, and you only have a couple sentences to do it. An example would be a safer, family-friendly place, somewhere where you feel more comfortable, somewhere where you can sleep at night, where you don't have to lock the doors, where you can go to the store at 11 o'clock at night. You don't have to think twice if you've left anything unlocked or if you left something close to the curb or if it's going to be missing. There's a bunch of different reasons. You have to paint that solution to them. In my area in particular, my neighbors have this concern. Your solution will be different depending on your problem. If your problem was an HOA, your solution could just be an unrestricted area. If your problem was parking, your solution could be acre lots. Everyone's solution is different based on the problem. There's no perfect letter. There's only processes. And that's what I'm training you on. But it is your responsibility to identify a solution in your area. And that brings us to our next point. Number 4, the fix. Remember, you're the expert in the area. You need to take control of the situation. This is where you bridge the pain point and the solution. And they have to go through you. This is where you get to talk about yourself. And it should be natural because you know the area. You're going to provide the solution. You're the expert. They're going to lean on you. You've identified a problem. You've given them a solution. You've told them what life is like on the other side. Now you have to convince them that you're the person that's going to take them to the promised land. You're the person. How do you do that? You have to keep it friendly. You have to keep it confident. You have to be solution focused. This is where real estate agents make mistakes. They talk about themselves at the start of the letter, but your secret is you're going to talk about yourself after the letter. Everyone knows in order to win a sale, you have to get somebody talking. You have to get somebody reading. And once you get them hooked, then they care enough to know about who you are. And this is where you do that at the end of the letter. Remember, your goal is to let them know that you're taking them to the promised land. Here at Lions Gate Realty, I know that the area is changing. You don't want to be the last one holding the bag. Let's take you to an area and maximize your investment. This is an example that one of my agents used here at the office. We just went over the 4 main points in order for your letter to be successful. But what does that look like? I have a real life example here of a letter that got me 6 listings in an area I had never been in before. Remember, my letter is specific to my area. The pain point in my community is that the homes are oversized. They're big, and the community is getting older. They can no longer maintain these homes the way they're supposed to. Let's get into my letter. The most expensive repair is the one that you didn't see coming, the hook. And sometimes it's life's way of telling you it's time for a new chapter. The problem, that's me mirroring. Right now, homes in Woodlands estates are in high demand, and yours could be the perfect fresh start for a young family eager to grow just like yours once did. That's the fix. And now the call to action is simple, and I have it right here. Happy to help. Victor Cortez and my phone number. That's it. Short and sweet, straight to the point. They have your number. They know who you are. You know the area. You've shown them. They're going to call. And some friendly reminders. Start with the pain, not your pitch. Act like you're speaking to a friend. 5 to 7 sentences. Every word must earn their spot. And make sure you have good handwriting, guys. It matters. Practice. Remember, the most important part of the letter is the hook. The problem, the solution, and a call to action. 4 steps that you need to do for a successful letter to start generating listing appointments today. And like my kids say, like and subscribe. I don't know what it means, but it sounds fun. See y'all next week.